Hi, and welcome back. It's me, Mrs. Davis. Today we're going to be talking about ways to help support students' oral language development and how to create that in a language-rich classroom. We're going to discuss 3 different strategies and how you can incorporate them into your classroom. The first strategy we're going to discuss is morning meetings. Now, this is an activity that can be done anytime throughout the day whenever it works within your classroom schedule. A morning meeting is an activity in which students learn to greet one another. They are allowed to share a bit of information. The other students are allowed to ask questions of that student, and then they are able to engage in that conversation. This really helps students to learn the rules of pragmatics as they engage in the conventions of conversation and learn to do so in a respectful manner. This could be incorporated in classrooms starting from kindergarten all the way up through the older grades. Another strategy that could be used would be retelling the story. After you read a story to students, you can have them retell the story. This can be incorporated from kindergarten all the way up through older grades, but especially needs to be started in kindergarten. As the students retell the story to you, they are learning how to use syntax and they are developing semantics through words that they learn in the story. Another activity that we're going to discuss is a listening walk. This is where students go on a walk, and you can do this anytime throughout the day and in multiple settings. One scenario would be when you go out to snack afterwards, you can tell students, okay, we're going to go on a listening walk. We're going to use our listening ears and really listen to the sounds around us. And then we're going to have a discussion afterwards to discuss the sounds that we heard and how we heard them. This will help develop students' phonological skills as they listen to the sounds that they hear. It will help to develop syntax as they work to construct sentences to describe what they heard. It's going to develop pragmatics as they engage in conversation, ask questions, and discuss what one heard versus what another heard. And it's going to develop semantics as they learn words in different contexts and other ways to describe what they heard. We're going to do a demonstration of how you could do a listening walk, and so I'm going to play a sound. This could demonstrate how you could do a listening walk outside. So I'm going to tell my students, okay, boys and girls, we're done with snack. We're going to go on a listening walk now, and I really want you to put your listening ears on and listen to all the sounds that you hear. And as you listen to it, think of different ways that you could describe what you are hearing. Is it a loud sound, or is it a very quiet sound? Is it a sound that is really close to where we are, or is it a distant sound? Is it something far off? And so listen up. We're going to listen for 5 minutes, and then when we get done listening, we're going to have a conversation about what we heard. And okay, so then while still in the same setting or returning to the classroom, you can ask the students to describe things that they heard. If they heard the wind blowing, was it a breeze or was it a gust? Was it a heavy wind that was really gusting, or was it a light breeze that was just slowly blowing through the leaves? Did they hear a bird singing? Was the bird chirping? Was the bird calling to another bird? What kind of bird do you think was making that noise? Was it a blue jay? Was it a cardinal? Was it a mockingbird? Did they hear a dog barking? Was that dog close to us, or was it off in the distance? Was that dog a loud bark, or was it a quiet bark? There are many different ways that you could develop students' semantics in these conversations as they describe different ways, and you help them to understand multiple contexts through which they can hear things, through which they can describe what they heard, multiple ways that they can describe it. One student may have heard it this way, another student another, and we can have a conversation about that. This is also going to be developing our pragmatics, and throughout the whole thing, the syntax is being developed as students are constructing sentences to describe what they heard. But I think the biggest thing that is being developed through this is the semantics, as they talk about things and learn new words to describe what they are hearing. This could be incorporated in any age group, beginning in kindergarten all the way through older grades. In the older grades, you could really help them be focusing on learning those other descriptive words and then discussing maybe synonyms and antonyms to what they heard. So these are some useful strategies that can be used to develop the oral language skills of your students. I hope that these have been helpful. Hence, these are strategies that I certainly plan to implement within my classroom. Please share with me if you have other ideas of ways to develop the oral language of your students, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.